What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Greg. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How's that pen treat you? Got your pen in your
It's
hand.
good. I noticed that
Nolan
anytime I have a pen, it makes me look 20% smarter.
It does. It looks like you're making a point and you just got done writing. You're like, oh, you have like those giant legal pads where you're like, hold on, let me just go back here. Hold on, I can do it too, I guess. Let me go back here. Sir, I'm looking back here and it says on page 4 that you actually said, no, the cat wasn't yours. It's interesting you'd say the cat was yours now, isn't it?
You know what you got to do? It was perfect, Greg. Can I give you one acting note?
Just sure. One quick note. Well, that wasn't acting. I mean, that was me trying to get to, like I could act that better if you wanted.
Put it behind your ear.
Let me give you this one note and then we'll try it again. Okay, Andy, shut up. Andy.
Thank you, Andy. Shut your fucking face.
Shut your fucking pie hole.
Wow.
Greg, what I want you to do is when I ask you the question, I want you to do the thing that lawyers do when it's their turn to talk, where they wait a beat and then they like fold the paper and then they go.
God damn it! I was like, what the fuck just happened? Andy left.
Where is he?
Andy
no,
left.
He turned off his thing, his camera. He took his ball and he went home to ruin the podcast. Look, he ruined the podcast. Everybody know. Look at the thing.
This fantastic story is done.
Everybody look at your thing and make it work. Make the graphics work. Tim, you're fine. Nick, I need you to get low.
I removed him.
Nick, I need you to get low.
Fine. No, I get it. He's gone.
Right, you also removed Tim. You also removed Tim.
No, Tim's here. Tim just closed the image. No. Oh, you're right.
I don't even know where we already were. It was a dumb joke that we ran into the ground.
Now we got to fucking, you know what? We got this guy over here, Wet Blanket Cortez, as he's known on twitch.tv/Andy Cortez. If people show up to watch video games, he turns them off and starts talking about science and how eggs get formed. Yes, Nick Scarpino, kindoffunny.com.
Greg, who am I?
I believe you're Wet Blanket Cortez from twitch.tv/Andy Cortez.
He's gone again.
We're having everybody's having a lot of fun.
I just wanted to ruin Nick's shot.
It's the story of my fucking life on this channel, I swear to God.
Of course, his name isn't Wet Blanket Cortez. It's Andy, the Hispanic heartthrob Texas treat Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the globe-trotting, headshot nitro rifle from twitch.tv. Andy Cortez.
Salud, mi familia.
Yeah, I'll give you the Busan. All right, get in there. There it is. Nick, you're not watching. Nick, do it.
I'm sorry.
Nick, we were all cheersing. We were all cheersing your drinks.
Cannonball.
There it is. Cannonball. There it is.
Tim, I just got my 17th win in Fall Guys. This is for you,
17.
man.
Wow.
On PS4. It's so fucking easy. Jesus, bunch of babies playing.
Man. How many do you have, Nick?
I don't think I have a single win, but I will say this. I count it as a win that the last time I played with Andy, he has adopted some of the parlances of one Snow Bicycle Michael, and I love them. Namely, you say something where you're like, I am so great. Like, I love the like hyping yourself up moments that you have in the last time we played, Andy. It was really great. Everyone should go check that out.
It's
I'm incredible.
Having that sort of
I'm incredible.
Commit to greatness. You got to commit to greatness.
Absolutely, man. People should go watch that Let's Play on what is it? Is it over on on
a lot of people have.
YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames.
It's almost like we should have a series where we do that a bunch of times, and then that way Tim can come in and just put a fucking bullet in the back of its head when no one's looking.
I don't like this fake narrative you have that Tim killed this show.
To be fair, last time Tim brought it back up and threw it in there, just and then I thought,
well,
maybe
yeah, sometimes you beat someone up enough, they just
everyone.
Is it a sore spot? He's fine. Look at him. He's Tim. He's tough. He's
hard
as nails.
I'm fine. I'm hard as nails.
Nothing I could say to Tim would matter at this point in our relationship.
Tim's the hardest motherfucker on this podcast right now. Don't worry about it.
He's a biker. He's been in a bunch of biker gangs. I can imagine Tim just trying to actually be the leader of a gang of criminals. I just can't picture it.
It wouldn't go well. No.
You know what? I think you could. It just wouldn't be violent.
A non-violent
Tim, you don't have to lead by yourself. I can help you and make all the hard decisions you can't. You know what I mean? We'll get to the top very quickly.
Now, this is one of the things right there is I'd like to full stop is like in most situations I could see this. Tim's the face out there, right? Kevin's behind there pulling the strings, doing the thing, using him like a puppet. If it was a gang, if it was like we had a criminal enterprise gang, I think Kevin could lead from the front. He wouldn't need to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
No. See, I don't.
But
think
I'd want to, guys. I'd want to have a partner. You know,
right
now, you just have a partner, but you'd be in front
talking me down. Be like, no, you can't murder all those people. And I mean, be like, why, Tim? Why? And then he'll say something. I'm like, you're right, Tim.
I think it's entirely possible that right now, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, but I think it's entirely possible that for no reason Kevin has a vat of acid in his garage right now, just
100%.
waiting.
There's
Just
definitely a
waiting to
reason
dissolve
for it.
bodies. But it's not the reason
Wait,
you think
hold
it's
on.
like, oh, you
Guys,
have to take
It's
the
the
pin off the
reason
wall.
he'll need in 10 years. It's not
Andy's
something
got
he
a
needs
vat
right
of
now.
acid in his house right now. Like vats of acid are easy to find. I'm
Andy
shocked that you
has-
guys don't have
Andy
them.
has a jug of acid. I could see with like the industrial strength, army grade, like
Costco.
I
iron
picture-
fucking lung of it.
I picture Kevin like rolling it off his truck. Doom, 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 doom,
Exactly,
kinda, like, rolls down.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
A little
You
spills out
fucking
onto a
crushed it.
cat.
So much, guys. All of what you just
Fucking
described
ground.
is so much more work than you think it is. Oh my god, those are heavy.
They're big.
Imagine.
Get a little pony keg of acid, just spray it on the body.
Now,
And then come back
here's
an
what
hour later, spray a little bit more.
I want everybody to take their pin, right? Put it in this topic. Because I don't know if you saw, I know sometimes we get on these shows and the show ends an hour and 20 later, and we're like, what are we going to call it? We talked about all these different things. Tim's always like, I'd love a headline ahead of time. I'd love a headline ahead of time. I've already
I'll
slacked.
kill this show
to-
too. Rick.
you killed the Game Over Greggy show. You killed Party Mode. Now you're covering the Kind of Funny podcast. I've already slacked the headline to thumbnails here. Did you see it, Andy?
Already.
Did you see it, Andy?
Yeah.
Read it to the class, Andy.
Yeah.
Kevin Coello has committed a serious crime. Dash
So put
Kinda
a
Funny
pin in
podcast.
everything we just discussed, because that's going to come back as a topic in a second. Before we get there, though,
Hey,
I want to
let's
introduce
not
Forbes
call it
30
that,
under
though.
30,
Let's name it
aka
anything
the
else.
second best baby blues in San Francisco, aka the engaged one at Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
I'm sorry, Nick Scarpino from kindoffunny.com. You
I'd
have a
like
question?
to. I'd like to just offer another suggestion for yet another moniker for Tim. Are you
Sure.
familiar with Richard Kuklinski, who is also known as the Iceman because he killed a lot of different people in his tenure as a mob assassin?
I'm not familiar
Really?
with that guy at all. No.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got
he
great
was terrifying.
documentaries. I think there's a
Great
HBO one.
Doesn't that, I think there's one on. Yeah, I think there's one on HBO.
Yeah.
Who
I'm
is
just
the
saying,
guy-
Tim the Iceman Gettys, pretty fucking cool.
He used to kill
Iceman's
people with an
cool.
ice pick and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, he's
Would he
Freeze
just
him?
hot off the press of the Kind of Funny podcast talking about casting the X-Men in MCU? You see the
That's-
the
That's
buff,
what I was going to say.
the boof.
Wait, what's he cast as?
He's not cast, but rumors are Iceman.
Oh, I love the boof. I've always
Now-
loved the boof.
Did you look into this story at all? Because I saw the headline or the little tweet thing on the side there. Is it
Mhm.
that they're trying to start with Iceman, or is it they're talking about the ensemble X-Men?
It's all bullshit. It's all
Oh, okay.
bullshit. I'll believe it when I see it.
You know
But
it's
yeah,
not.
I imagine if this were to be the case, it would be in just a random other movie.
You know, it's
Okay.
not bullshit though.
What's not
Is
bullshit?
Dave Franco doing the Vanilla Ice biopic? That's not bullshit,
Wow.
and that's fucking great. That's
That
everything.
is-
right
that
there.
is
For a
real.
second there, I got excited thinking it was going to be Dave Coulier. When you
Oh
said
my
Dave,
God.
Dave Coulier. So you thought Dave Coulier, Vanilla Ice? That's a
No.
perfect pair.
now, Nick, I know it's hard for you. Rewind the fucking sentence in your brain because you didn't lead with Vanilla Ice. You led with Dave, and then you did that Nick thing where you're like, Dave, and you thought for a second before you said the last name. And so in my head, I was like, Coulier.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Here's what, here's what I
Were
was
you
saying, Greg.
crossing
You
your
do
fingers
this.
hoping for an X-Men connection?
No,
Like
just
Dave-
anything. What's Dave Coulier up to? Because I'll tell you
Got
what, on paper, Fuller House sounds like a great idea. Let's get it. You will go back to what works. But what did it do? It typecast Dave Coulier, and I haven't seen him in anything. And I feel like if that hadn't happened, he could be doing some of the quarantine movies I see. Nick Scarpino, back to you and your lawyer references.
Now,
God.
Yeah, see, this is
what's
good.
the
acting.
last thing you remember seeing Dave Coulier in?
Fuller House.
See, it would have been better if I asked you a question you hadn't already answered. But that's
Yeah.
that's the motivation I want from you.
I liked
right
it.
now.
I know. I like it. I like
Andy,
it. See,
I want you
I'm
to
always
be
a
juror
fan of
number
this one
3,
too.
and you're not quite sure if you're going to convict or what you want for lunch.
See, I
Okay.
always like this one though. So where Tim's on trial, right? He's on the witness stand, right? And then you finish up, Nick. And what I need from you is a line that is your witness
Okay.
counselor.
No further questions, Your Honor. Your witness counselor.
Hold on. Now, Tim, hold on. I'm just looking over the documents here. It says in Exhibit A, you knew where the muscles were hidden. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the
good.
kind of stuff you need.
I love how your lawyer was sort of Columbo, or he's hunched over. He's like, well,
Well, I can't, if I stand up too tall, like it doesn't work for the act.
Yeah,
I
that,
can't
Andy and I don't have
figure
that problem.
You know where the muscles were hidden?
Yeah,
Like the sea creature?
yeah,
Like
that's
the sea
right.
creature, yeah.
The mollusk.
The
You know
mollusk.
what I mean?
Okay, that's
that
what I
that
was
kind of thing.
wondering.
Oh my God,
Now,
the mollusk.
I won't lie to you. You know how I work. I reached into the black hole. I grabbed muscles, and I looked at it, and I'm like, "This isn't a great example." But it was too late. At that point, we needed a noun to go there, and muscles is what we had, and muscles is what we went with.
In the same way that we
Guns.
have Miller's planet in
Yeah.
Interstellar, we do have Miller's mind,
Yeah.
where time also moves differently.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's slower or faster, somewhere in between. If
It's
there's
somewhere
any
in between.
consistency at all.
Now,
But I'm
once
happy we
this
got that.
it also
Busan
weighs me
coffee
down.
kicks in, though, I assure you I'll be moving on another level. All right, you don't have to worry about what I'll be doing over here because this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4 best friends gather around this table to come and bullshit with you. If you like being bullshitted with, great. Roll around in it. Hang out with us for the next hour and change as we fuck around and have a good time. You go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where a couple of bucks gets you on the show. You can ask us questions. You could be a Patreon producer. You could watch it live as we record it, just like the Lou is, Washburn is, Lexi G is. Of course, you get the show ad-free.
Washburn's
and-
here?
That's right. And with that post show we do exclusively for patreon.com/kindoffunny. Of course, if you went over there and gave us just $1 right now, you would have a backlog to what? It's August. So that means there's more than 7 Greg Ways up right now that you could go watch the exclusive Patreon show to hear me talk about kind of funny things and whatever else is going on. Podcast for days. If you have no bucks tossed our way, that's no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe, where each and every week we run you through our silly bullshit. Andy, I'd like to go back to you. You were doing the lawyer thing, and you had a lot of face emotes going on there. There it is. Look at this. That's good. It also kind of looks like you're you're in a porn, and you're like the sexy teacher. You know what I mean? This is check out. You're gonna have to earn some
That's the
extra
vibe I
credit.
got.
You got that vibe, Tim? You got the sexy?
I got
horny
the
vibe?
sexy porn teacher. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's not what I was going for, but
I looked away for a second, and I thought you were like sexy Janine from Ghostbusters right there. It was it was working for me, dude.
Well, first off, sexy Janine, oxymoron, right? Isn't it just Janine?
That was a test,
Come
and you passed. You
Annie
definitely
Potts
passed.
or the animated Janine, either way. Come on,
I
gorgeous.
I went back and I think they were playing
Definition
Ghostbusters on
of beauty.
AMC. Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
And I finally think I've pinpointed the issue I have with Ghostbusters 2. Aside from the fact that it being very, very, way much more oriented toward kids, which totally
Sure,
ruins
it
it.
was a cartoon, yeah.
It's that Harold Ramis. I read a piece of
Ramis.
trivia in the very first Ghostbusters.
Sure.
That Harold Ramis said, I made it a
Ramis.
point to Ramis, excuse me, made it a point to make sure that Egon never smiled the entire Ghostbusters. And it's so perfect because he's like the straight man the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Very beginning of Ghostbusters 2. He's smirking, he's out there playing to the crowd, he's laughing, he's cracking jokes, and I'm like, y'all,
Got a taste of fame.
lost these
Changes it.
characters. It does, man. It does. It's
Yeah, they got
sad.
the cartoons. That's what it was all about. You know what I mean?
Andy Cortez.
Real quick too. Thank you very much, Mike Elv. In You're Wrong live in the chat is like, you don't mean oxymoron. You mean redundant. You don't mean that they're totally not real or not the same thing. That they're contradictory. That they are the same. I'm like, correct.
Fair.
Annie Potts, lovely actress. Janine in the cartoon, a lovely actress. Followed her on Twitter yesterday, by the way.
yeah?
Maurice LaMartian, the voice of Egon, tweeted out that Janine has her voice. Yeah, Andy Cortez, I saw you raise your hand for a second.
Are we still talking about Kevin Coello committing a serious
That
crime?
that is yes, the Kevin Coelho's serious crime
Alright,
is
let's-
the
let's- I
meat
did
of the
not
show.
commit any
That is
sort
going
of
to be-
crime that I can think of right now.
Kevin,
so
we'll
let's
get
just
there
fucking
and it'll make
chill
sense.
the fuck
When
out.
we
Let's
get
stop
there, it'll
saying
make
this.
sense, Kevin.
Or we just right now explain what we got.
Kevin.
Legalities of slander. You know what I mean? You write this down, you're liable.
Oh my God.
Busan! Andy, what do you got to say?
I don't know. I just wanted to interrupt because I was like, are we just losing the thread? Why are we talking about Ghostbusters?
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Mohammed, aka Momo. First off, we should always be talking about Ghostbusters. Second,
Momo, thank you.
Julian, the gluten-free gamer, Blackjack, Lee Polero, Steve Powers, and Kieran O'Donnell. Today we're brought to you by Honey, Sunsoil, and Upstart. But I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's get to the heart of the matter here. Kevin Coello has committed a serious crime. This is from AJ on patreon.com/kindoffunny, who writes in with the following question. A hypothetical topic for you. Kevin Coello is suspect number 1 for a serious crime. Nothing crazy like murder or Portillo napping, but let's say he stands accused of embezzling a large sum of money from the company, making the deed personal to you. Now he is on the run, and the FBI is deputizing the rest of Kind of Funny's crew to apprehend him. It's big enough to be a federal offense. He's very
I'm not gonna
clear
lie,
here. AJ.
that's very smart of the FBI to do because they know that's the kind of thing that, like, I'll be like, run away. Now I can destroy each and one of them and have like a good reason. Well, they were hunting me down.
That's still a crime.
I've
That's
lured
still
them
a crime.
into a trap. I've lured
Also,
them
I
into a
think-
trap.
From a
Yeah,
standpoint
Kevin,
of-
I don't exactly think the FBI is like, hey, they're gonna come after you, and if you beat them, you're free. Like I don't think.
No. That's not
like
what I'm
Scott
saying at
Pilgrim
all.
versus the world.
That's not what I'm saying at all. It's more of like now I have a reason.
How
I
do
will
you
say
bring
this.
them in?
I will say this. I know exactly how we would bring Kevin in, right?
There's a whole bunch of stuff here because AJ's an actual kind of funny,
Fucking
true blue,
tell
best
AJ
friend,
that
podcast listener.
TLDR. We're ready to talk about the topic. Do you understand me?
AJ goes on. I know these types of topics often lack specific /parameters. So here we go.
Wow.
I apologize, AJ.
He accepts it, I believe. I know in my heart of hearts. Kevin knows you're after him. Kevin was last seen less than 24 hours ago, and though his whereabouts are unknown, he is assumed to still be in the greater Bay Area. His apprehension should be peaceful to the extent possible.
No fucking way, Kevin. No way, Kevin.
No way I
peaceful.
go down peacefully.
If we get deputized by the FBI to take down Kevin, the first 5 hours are me and Nick at gun shops, like figuring out what the coolest way to do.
I mean, is there much more here?
Don't worry. AJ
Okay.
gave us a Bible. I love it. You have the resources of federal law enforcement available to you, but are limited to typical FBI stuff. For example, they will give you a surveillance van, but not a tank. They'll give you guns, but only loaded with blanks. Remember, peaceful apprehension. There is no evidence that Paula or Cecil are involved or know anything about the crime, but Thomas is suspiciously eager to make a deal. Kevin is allowed to participate in this discussion, but know that whatever he says might be a ploy to throw you off his trail.
Oh, shit.
Of course he fucking does. Well, first
So
off,
how are we taking him in, Nick? You said before any of this, you're like, I got him.
I totally understand, right? Here's all we have to do is this. We have to have Tim tweet out OMG or whatever the fucking parlance we use these days. I don't know. I'm old. The LEDs in my house are on the fritz. LOL. Somebody needs to come help me fix them. And Kevin, regardless of how much he knows he's on the lam, will feel just a powerful pull, almost like gravity across space-time, to come and fix those. He will not be able to not fix the LEDs in Tim's apartment. He comes in, trapdoors come down, we just let him die on his own. We don't even try to go in. We don't try to go in and get him because he'll kill us.
But
So
are trap doors like a normal FBI thing? Because I feel like trap doors are closer to tanks than they are to a van.
Okay.
Tim, can I ask you to get closer to your mic? Please?
Okay.
Nick, I love this. And I think that I think Kevin would feel like something was wrong. And I feel like he would sniff out the issue and would immediately know this is how they're trying to get me. Tim doesn't have issues with his LEDs. Why? Because I help set them up. There's no possible chance that these things are bugged.
Yeah, you're right. Because also
Now,
it's possible
Nick,
that Kevin can like VPN into Tim's setup and be like, I can see
Exactly.
these fuckers are trying to.
Now this is now like kind of playing off your sort of idea here. I think if Greg or you, Nick, or maybe me or anybody else at Kind of Funny said, I want to install these hue lights in my house. How do I go about doing that?
Yeah.
I think that gets Kevin going like, oh my God, I want to help with this because this is going to be incredible for you. And I love seeing you sort of progress into this new age of crazy light technology.
Now, this is great, but you need to remember this is the same man that did just embezzle money from us. Now he's caught.
It's true,
That's
but at the same point, see, this is the
like,
big problem I have
that
with this scenario.
You want to catch me.
The big
Do
problem I
you?
have with
That's
this
my
scenario-
thing. Is I didn't. That's because again, AJ's given us a lot here, right? But it is nothing crazy like murder reporting napping. But let's say he stands accused of embezzling a large sum of money from the company, making the deed personal to you. So, I guess where is the FBI? He stands accused of this. We've already accused him of it?
But the FBI are like actively looking for me.
Here's what I'll say on this, and this is where you guys, and unfortunately, I'd probably have to bow out of this because you guys would then have to suspect me as well for one of two reasons. One,
guys, I think Nick might be embezzling money.
I do the books. I do the books for the company, right? And so either A, I didn't notice this money going through, which means I'm a complete moron, and you need to just get me off the team, or B, I disappear too, and everyone's like, "Where did Nick go?" And then it's just Instagram. Me and Kevin started Instagram of Kevin and Nick in non-extradition country, and we're just partying. Partying. It's a long.
Are we going to go to Argentina? We're going to Argentina.
Well, dude, some of the best Italians we've ever had. Argentina. Let's go.
Right?
Let's go. Best
Nick,
pizza.
Here's the thing I like.
Real quick, Greg. I just thought Nick was going to say, now I do the books fairly accurately.
I do love that. That's
Listen,
a fair
I
statement
do the
in
books
real
with
life.
the best intentions.
The thing with the books, real quick, that I
really
want to bring to
try.
attention
I really
here
try.
is yesterday, Joey gets a Slack from Nick. And I'm standing next to Joey as this happens. And the
Sure.
Slack is from Nick. Hey, do we know who ordered something from petcostumes.com or some shit like that in June? And I just love the idea that Nick is looking through the like, this is Nick keeping track of the books.
Right.
And just looking through, and then our dumbass jobs and dumbass life, Nick now has to spend hours of his time trying to backtrack and figure out what could we possibly have bought
Yesterday, 11:57 on Slack. Random question: did we buy anything from a vendor called Pet Outfitter back in June for approximately $300? And I go, no, maybe Tim with some moose stuff. And Nick goes, nah, they didn't have moose back then. And I go, because in my head I'm like, fuck, did I do this?
My first thought is Joey was cracking up about this, and I was like, huh, no, we didn't get moose until July. So I was like, it couldn't have been me. And like, not that I would have done that, but I could have totally done it by accident. But I didn't buy it. I even to this day haven't bought him $300 worth of shit. Did we find out what it was?
I'm not.
I know we did not.
I'm not allowed to buy clothing for Nick Cecil. I'm not allowed to buy clothing for Cecil, even though like
why aren't you allowed to
Petco
buy
had a
stuff
like really cool beanie that I wanted to get him.
Yeah,
Paul says he doesn't need it.
He absolutely needs it, Kevin. He absolutely needs it.
Yeah,
he's a dog and it's cold outside.
He deserves it.
So he deserves
The
it.
first hit. This is not good for Joey Noel. The first thing when you put in Pet Outfitter into Google is Joey's Pet Outfitters.
Yeah. So Joey might be, by the way, this is a new wrinkle in our plan here, is that it turns out Kevin was innocent the entire time. Joey's been the one funneling money from our company to Joey's PetOutfitters.com.
I don't think you can change the story however you want.
Well,
AJ
no.
didn't say we
hold
can't.
on. Again, Kevin is suspect number one for a serious crime. Remember, Harrison Ford in The Fugitive was suspect number 1 too. I didn't kill my wife.
Get off
I
my
don't care.
plane.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
No, wrong one.
Suspect
That's the
number
wrong
2,
movie.
Joey Noel. Suspect
Sure.
number 3, an accidental Nick.
That
Nick
is
didn't mean to do it.
fair.
one. Sure. Yeah, that I can see for
100%
sure.
fair.
Because let's be honest, Tim, how many times with our company cards have we bought something with the company money we didn't mean to?
Oh my God,
I
I bought
probably more than
a
once.
lot. A lot. I'm saying, and honestly, that's one of those things where
was normal. I would say 1 in 3 Ubers. Like, fuck, that's the wrong card.
There's multiple times that I've bought Starbucks where I was like, I leave the Starbucks and I'm like, did I fucking whatever?
Close
doesn't
it
matter.
off.
Close enough.
You
It doesn't
know,
matter.
guys, like the amount of times I've accidentally used my own money to buy random shit because when you refund something on Amazon, the credit goes to your Amazon account. And when you're buying stuff, you have to uncheck that for the company. It's fucking.
It's confusing. Real talk. We trust everyone, and if you do stuff like that, of course. But that's why I was reaching out to you guys because I thought maybe Greg, you accidentally ordered some pet food for Portillo and just forgot it was the wrong card. In which case, I don't give a shit. It's just those little things are the things that irk me. Where I'm like, I don't know what this.
No, I mean,
thing
pay
is.
it back.
I want to know what it
in that
is.
case?
I want to know what it is too. I don't know. It's not. It's. I could call the bank and be like, "Who is this vendor?" But I'm pretty. It says Pet Outfit. It's missing the R because there's not enough words. But I'm assuming it's Pet Outfitter, and I just assumed that maybe Joey, I thought bought some costumes, or maybe Greg bought some costumes for Portillo in the company. But I don't know. I mean, the fact that there is a Joey's Pet Outfitter, I think, is pretty damning evidence.
Joey right now, by the way, is popping off not only in the live chat in all caps, but then on Slack as well, trying to defend herself, saying that I'm the one who told Nick it was Joey's Pet Outfitters. Just because you planted all this evidence and got caught, Joey, and now you're over there trying to get out of this. You know what I mean, Andy? We didn't see the warning signs with Selena's fan club manager till it was too late, right?
Oh no, guys, too far. Come on.
Yes,
Don't bring Selena
Yolanda
into this.
Saldivar. Yolanda Saldivar. She seemed normal at first. Actually, no, we kind of did.
I mean, she was embezzling money, right? Like it's just
In the movie, we kind of did. Everybody was like, "This woman's kind of creepy," and then Selena was like, "Nah, it's fine."
So I love how this theoretical just went from, "Hey, Kevin did this thing, but it definitely wasn't that serious," and now Joey's suspect number 2, and it is that serious.
I didn't say she's going to murder us. I'm just saying we missed the warning signs with Yolanda. Let's not miss him with Joey.
Let's not miss it with Joey.
You can't always be too careful, Greg.
It's so funny because I love Joey so much that even if she was embezzling, I'd be like, I gotta pick her side against the rest of you guys. And this is no disrespect to you guys, but I just feel like I feel like there's a culture where Greg scares her every 6 months, and for that
I haven't done that in a long time.
Money.
Now hold on. Further, I'd like it on the record and some credit that I haven't scared Joey Noel in a long time.
How long?
Right?
3 months since we.
But how much of that is circumstance of having not seen her? Exactly.
I was hoping you wouldn't ask any further questions. And the fact that I haven't worked with her in an office in 7 months or whatever, that you know what I mean.
I scared her today.
What did you do?
I scared the shit out of her. It was totally unintentional, but I did. I went in to knock on her door and see if she wanted to order some Popeyes.
Sure.
She didn't hear me. She opened the door and I was right there. She did not respond well. Also, she didn't want Popeyes.
That happens to me all the time, though. I haven't always.
Wait, did you get it on your own though?
I did.
That's like your second Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich in like 2 days, right?
Well, in a week.
Okay,
it's been a week.
I get scared by everybody in this house because I always have like headphones on, and I'll just be like, I'll be washing like my dish for my salad, and then like I turn, I just see a figure walking, like just like always like you get that little jolt.
It's the same thing here where I've tweeted about it and whatever, but like Lucy James doesn't make any noise, like she moves, and I think we've talked about this before that she's like literally just a ninja. And so she will just glide.
Right now.
Yeah, see, there it is. How am I supposed to know she's there? She doesn't make any goddamn noise when she moves around.
It's the shadows. You gotta look for the shadows, Greg.
There was one podcast, and like, sure, you like right now I have headphones on, whatever, yada yada. But I mean, like, just in normal things, I'll come out and she's just like in the middle of the room, like a fucking haunting. And there was one time, like, we finished a podcast, and I took them off the headphones, and I was working here, headphoneless, and it must have been at least 5-7 minutes. I turn around, she's on the ground petting Portillo, and she's just been there the whole time. And I had thought about ripping a loud fart, but I didn't, and I'm lucky I didn't because it could have been like not good. Don't get me wrong.
I have some questions, Greg.
Well, can I just close up the thread here real quick about Lucy James? Because today I was going to get her back. Today we had her dead to rights.
Get her back.
Where Jen is.
She hasn't been trying to get you.
She's been getting me with these scare tactics and this mongering. Not hate, just mongering. Like today, she was in there. She's in her room doing her thing, and we got a delivery of things because Jen's building out Halloween costumes already. Because I love this woman so goddamn much, and so one of them's a mask. And so I put no, it's not. I'll go put it on and scare you in a second. I put on
Jen,
I put on the brand new mask, and then I told Jen, I'm like, all right, get Lucy to come out here. And I went up to Lucy's door, which connects to the bathroom, and I just stood there, like an inch away from the door, just right there in the mask. And Jen texted, and then Lucy responded she was in the middle of a game and needed a second. So then I stood there like a psychopath for like 3.5-4 minutes, and then finally Lucy came out the other fucking door. And totally didn't even see the fucking thing. You know what I mean? This thing would have got her ass. We would have finally had payback for her being too quiet. Now back to you, Tim. What's the question?
Oh, I was just going to ask, like, you thought about farting and you didn't. I don't know.
You know how it is where you're like, do I have to? No. You know it's coming, but you're not there yet.
See, that's my thing. When it comes to a fart, it's not like a poop. Like,
no. It's
just like if it's there, as long as there's not people around. I've been like consciously like, oh, I'm going to hold it. But it's like I have nothing to lose. No, I think it's getting out immediately.
Well, it was percolating. You know what I mean?
Let it rip, you know?
No. Trust me. I mean, I do. Don't worry. I fart when I need to.
I'm worried about you, Greg.
No, it's fine. No. Because that's the other thing. Lucy can tell you for sure. I mean, we've had conversations about it. When I'm out here playing video games at night and she's in there playing video games or we're just trying to sleep, she'll just hear me fucking ripping farts out here all the time. And like,
she's nodding in the back.
There's a common roommate bond here where we don't make a big deal about it. We don't talk about it.
So I just want to point out, Greg, that so far let's do the pros and cons catalog for each of these roommates, you and Lucy.
Sure.
1, Lucy never makes a sound, which to most, Andy, I think that you can probably see where I'm going with this. To most people, would be a great virtue to have in someone you share a space with. Okay, we'll put that into her pro category. Con for your category is even when you're not in the room, she can still hear your asshole like making sounds,
rippling.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Just put it out there.
Good.
And then you use the word mongering, not fear, but mongering.
Well, it's either fear or hate, and neither of those are correct. But I'll get there. I'm percolating on that too.
You know what? It's kind of hitting me right now. I don't think I've ever heard the word mongering when it's not attached to fear or hate.
Me neither. And Andy,
silence.
The definition of it is interesting. It's a different direction than I thought. Do you guys?
Too. I'm looking at it right now.
Would you like to give a guess at what the definition of monger is?
Actually, ironmonger. I've heard of that guy.
Yeah. Remember that?
Greg Miller, what do you think the definition of monger is? A roundabout.
Who would you ask?
Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could have sworn you said Andy. What do I think?
The definition of monger.
Like, I think it's somebody who, you know what? Stick with me. I think it's similar to how we call Kevin a smell amplifier. It's someone who amplifies things, drums them up, makes maybe a bigger deal out of something than it is.
Close. So
Okay.
the definition is someone who purchases and maintains an inventory of goods to be sold.
Okay.
So
when you say someone's a fear monger,
someone that has
they amass fear or they help create fear, right?
As a product.
That's an interesting concept. Man, definitions.
What about like boner?
Boner monger?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing someone could do, Andy, but if
I'm going to
anyone's
type in
I
boner
support
monger.
you.
Yeah, look at that.
Boner.
Man, we've talked about this a lot, Greg. But you remember when they decided to name a character Boner on Growing Pains, and everyone just thought that was okay?
Cool. That's funny. That's a good joke.
That was great, dude.
Yeah.
So when you type in boner mongering, there's nothing great, but there is the top
Andy,
thing
can
is
you get
Amazon.com link. That's a girl boner, the good girl's guide to sexual empowerment. And then news from Yahoo.com from 2015 of drunk guy takes 35 Viagra pills and suffers a 5-day erection.
Oh,
that's gotta be really uncomfortable. That's gotta be really uncomfortable.
How do you roll over?
That can't be right, though. You know, at some point the blood just it's been disconnected for too long.
You gotta drain it.
4 hours. You gotta go to the doctor.
Oh my god! I don't like
it. Yeah, after 4 hours, they're like draining it.
They gotta drain it.
Yeah,
they
gotta
drain
it. You gotta drain it. Tim, it's not that bad. They make a small.
We need to have limits here.
They go like this. They go. What? They look.
Base.
They look down there and they go, okay, you're about 5.5 inches.
Yeah.
They take a 5.5-inch needle, just right in the tip, all the way down the thing.
Oh no, the needle doesn't have to be that big.
I don't know. I make all this stuff up.
Nick, you did this for us. How do I buy a domain?
You're gonna make a URL.
How do I get bonermonger.com to redirect to twitch.tv/AndyCortez?
Yeah.
All right,
just go to it, honestly, and then click on whoever owns that domain.
What about kindoffunny.com?
I don't get that.
Kindoffunny.com/bonermongering Andy Cortez.
Hold on.
Bonermonger.com is available. So
I don't know how to buy
you can go to GoDaddy and probably buy it.
I'm at GoDaddy right now.
Just type in what
else. It seems like something we should own.
GoDaddy.
Bonermonger.
Bonermonger.
It's also possible that I spelled boner.
All right, bonermonger.com is only $250 a month, Andy. Can I do that and take it out of your paycheck?
Yes, I'm totally down for that. Take it out of Andy's paycheck.
Andy, how about this for you? Will you use it and will you make a boner monger?
Do you mean $250 or $2.50?
It's only $2.50.
Oh yeah, we could afford that.
Here's what I'll say, Greg. I have, and I'm not gonna confirm nor deny this. So I'm gonna speak in vaguities right now, if you're okay with that.
Sure, yeah.
But I may or may not be friends with someone in this company who is currently embezzling money to joeysoutfitters.com. So if you want, I can hook that up for you. I can hook up a connection for you if you want me to tell you who that is.
I'd like you to look into that for me. I would like that. I don't.
Joey, can you please embezzle $2.50 more and put it over to bonermonger.com? Thank you.
So it looks like I'm first off, I used a honey coupon, so I got that going for me. So everybody should be stoked about that. All right. Yeah.
That's good. Are they sponsoring the show today?
I don't know.
Good for them.
Who knows? You know what I mean? I wish there was any way to check. Oh my God, Honey is a sponsor today.
There you go. There you go.
While I continue working on getting bonermonger.com and then figuring out how to make it redirect to twitch.tv/Andy Cortez. Here's a word from our sponsors. This episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by Honey. That's right. You just heard me use it because it's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. The way Honey works is simple. You go to joinhoney.com/kinda. You install Honey into your Google Chrome browser. And guess what? You start saving money when you get a little H, a little underscore H there on your address bar. When you go to a website and check out, Honey will pop up. It'll light up there, and then this little dancing coin dude drops down, and you click a button, and it runs all the promo codes possible to save you money. Like I just saved on GoDaddy.com, getting that website address. It's super simple. It's super easy. It installs in 3 clicks. If you want to sign in, you don't have to. If you want to sign in, you earn Honey coins, and then you can apply those to Amazon gift cards and a whole bunch of other gift cards. I use Amazon gift cards. That's how it works. If you don't use Honey, you're passing up free money. It is obviously perfect for online shopping. It saves you money on everything you get. Why wouldn't you do it? Ladies and gentlemen, Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/kinda. That's joinhoney.com/kinda. I can't recommend it enough. Up next is Sun Soil. These days, it seems that companies are always putting CBD in everything. If you don't know where to start, there's a company in Vermont that's down to earth and doing things differently, Sun Soil. We've talked about it before. One Gia Tap Harris herself, Tim's lovely fiance, is using Sun Soil to get her CBD products and having a great time. It's super simple, it makes sense, and great prices. Sun Soil makes CBD oil that is USDA certified organic. They grow hemp on their farms in Vermont, and then they never use pesticides, herbicides, or GMOs. Sun Soil keeps it simple. In fact, most of their CBD products have just two simple ingredients: coconut oil and hemp. Sun Soil is surprisingly affordable because they own their farm and own their hemp. They stick to simple ingredients and offer high quality CBD at half the price of other brands. Again, Gia tells us she loves the products and the savings she gets by using CBD from Sun Soil. Sun Soil makes pure and simple CBD products at an unbeatable price. Get 30% off your first order by going to sunsoil.com/kindafunny. That's sunsoil.com/kindafunny for 30% off your first order. And our final sponsor of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is Upstart. During these economically turbulent times, everyone is looking for a way to feel more financially secure. So if you're still needlessly throwing money every month at high interest credit card debt, it's time you checked out Upstart, the revolutionary online lending platform that knows you're more than just a credit score. Now is the time to find out how low your Upstart rate can be and help pay off those high interest credit card debts. Unlike other lenders, Upstart can reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter rate. You don't need a degree or a diploma to apply, though. Upstart lets you skip going to the bank because it's completely online. They offer loans from $1,000 to $50,000, so you can consolidate your debt into one easy fixed rate payment. Upstart makes it fast and simple to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it won't affect your credit score. The hard pull happens when you accept and proceed with your application. And the best part, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. See why Upstart has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/kindafunny to find out how low your Upstart rate can be. Checking your rate takes only a few minutes. That's upstart.com/kindafunny. Your loan amount will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided on your loan application. Not all applicants will qualify for the full amount.
There you are.
There you are.
This
is where we ended on this. Not even ended. We're still.
We're still very
halfway
much in the middle of this.
We're still Tuesday afternoon.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you all can make it here. You made it through the ads. Congratulations. We are still getting bonermonger.com, but I'm saying things look pretty good right now. I'm using my own money. Everybody can calm down.
Unless I'll say this, Greg.
Can I embezzle the money, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. I don't care. What I'll say is you can absolutely get this, but it might take a day or two to price. Sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours to propagate over to you. At which point, then we would also have to have someone build the site out and put something on it.
But I just want it to redirect.
So you want to go to? So where is it redirecting to? Andy's Twitch stream?
Twitch.tv/Andy Cortez.
Well, you would have to build that in the back end, and you'll have to take control of the domain first to be able to do that, and then go back into the back end of GoDaddy and have it do that. What you could do right now is just I can make you a URL right now. It's kindoffunny.com/bonermonger, and it'll go over to Andy's.
That's what I was saying.
No, we don't want that. We want the full-blown bonermonger.com.
It's going to have value one day.
I agree.
That's what I want is a full-blown bonermonger.com. All right. We have it apparently. Apparently we have it, it says.
How much was it, Greg?
$30 for a year.
Okay.
I love that Greg goes, no, we want this. Like, no, you want this.
Greg is very inclusive. That's one of the things I love being about his friend.
I'm just trying to take care of you
on the fun.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to help you.
Thank you, man. It's not coming out of my paycheck, though, right?
Ooh. You know what I mean? I can't help you on that one. Can't do that.
Anyway, so Kevin's a criminal.
Correct. Number one.
Just to be clear, I'm not a criminal.
Hypothetical. We just say it's alleged or hypothetical from now on. Please.
I like hypothetical criminal.
Hypothetical criminal.
Hypothetically, truthfully, Kevin's a criminal.
Nope.
Sure.
Hypothetically, we didn't need that truthfully in that sentence.
I would like to have as little to do with this as possible, because the chances of me ending up getting sawed out of this is pretty high.
Sawed?
Yeah,
like the movie.
Yeah,
Saw.
like the movie
Oh,
Saw.
yeah,
Tim, the
that's
amount of
100%
times where
good
I've been like, come on, just give me permission to knock you out with some sort of chemical.
Kevin legitimately has had conversations with me throughout my life where he's just like, just give me one free pass to chloroform you and just
one
like
time.
put you through some shit. And I'm like,
because it's
no.
one of those things that like I wouldn't have done it anytime soon. But like in the next 10 years, there'll just be one day where you go to sleep and you wake up in the middle of a box, maybe under the water.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
Kevin, I think about this stuff a lot when it comes to passing out.
Andy,
passing
you give
out
me
due
permission.
to chemical means. Like it's really, really.
Andy, you
no,
give me,
I don't.
No.
I'm not giving you permission.
Just give me a second. Give me a second. You give me permission now, and you don't have to wonder anymore.
It's a psychopath.
That is scary. What he's saying.
I just wouldn't try. But I like this idea, Tim. I like this idea of not only is Kevin a criminal, but he is Jigsaw. He is his own Jigsaw, and he is putting us through.
We know he's embezzling money. What's he using the money for?
He's
obviously elaborate death traps.
Here's the thing.
Like it's a giant
money...
warehouse. The new studio is this giant death trap warehouse.
I haven't seen the new studio for a while.
And whoever survives, either I don't know, gets a piece of his embezzling money.
No, guys,
whoever's the last one surviving.
What you guys don't understand is if I use the money for the company, it's no longer embezzlement. It's just not talking to you guys about where I was spending the money. So if I
what part of what we just said is for the company?
I was gonna put a camera down. All right, YouTube videos.
There you go.
Don't tell me
Twitch.tv
that's not gonna
is
give
kind of funny
views.
games. Fuck your Halo stream. We're gonna do this.
Our jobs are weird enough that it's like we can pretty much justify anything for being for the job.
Exactly.
I mean, we just spent $30 on voter.
God damn it.
I think I figured it out too. So momentarily, it might actually work that bonermonger.com goes to twitch.tv. Momentarily.
Wait, monger or mongerer?
Monger. Just monger. Bonermonger, like ironmonger.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, my God.
No one's trying to add the double ER on there, all right? That's not what it is. Just let it cook. GoDaddy's doing its business in the back end. So
I love that when you go to it, it says, find out who owns this domain name. That's little pop-ups.
So my whole thing with this is it's an interesting wrinkle because my first thought was, okay, Kevin's done this. Yeah, we'll work with the FBI behind the scenes kind of thing, kind of this sting operation. But I'm with everybody that no, it would assume, of course, that yes, Kevin understands that we know. So then we can't use Tim as bait because I was right there with you. We go to Tim's the guy. Tim's the problem.
Absolutely.
We're going exactly. Tim is who we'll use to get Kevin. But if he knows, then we got it. Then and stick with me. Paula and Cecil don't know. Tim, we turn our eyes to you of the quartet of us. Obviously, I'm not including Kevin. You know Paula the best. Will Paula flip on Kevin under pressure?
It would take me 3 text messages.
I was gonna say I don't think it'd be that hard to get Paula to flip on Kevin. I think she would willingly do it.
She would only flip on me if she thinks it would help me survive. If she's like, this will get him.
Don't get me wrong. That's how we're pitching it. We're not.
I understand that, but here's the thing. I'm aware of that, so it's my job to kidnap her, the dog, and maybe the cat. And maybe Tim,
you shifty with the cat.
Maybe Tim, just because like I've always wanted to, and like this sounds like the perfect opportunity.
I mean, you're already a criminal. You've
now
already
y'all need to save me too.
Throw in kidnapping and maybe we can get him across state lines too, just to make the charges really good, like really stick. Like imagine if you kidnapped Tim and then just dropped him off in like Scottsdale. Just dropped him off at a random.
Isn't that just bad if they're minors?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I guess that makes it a federal. That makes it a federal offense, right? Which
if
then
you
the FBI
cross state laws.
Probably, yeah, but the FBI already.
But the FBI is already on you.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Tim.
What's that monologue that they talk about in Suicide Squad with Joker and Harley, and God forbid anybody mess with his whatever. Remember this?
Yeah, I vaguely remember this.
I just picture that with Paula and Kevin. Like, yeah, we make jokes that like, yeah, Paula is in a living hell every day living with Kevin, but the second you try to come after Kevin, like she is going to wreak havoc.
Wow. Are we saying that Paula is the Harley of the situation, that she might have her own Suicide Squad that may or may not include Cecil and may or may not include Thomas
and Gia?
and a spin-off movie that doesn't perform as well.
It's because they made
I
names
think
way
the spin-off movie
That was a bad
performed
name.
better, right?
Yeah, it was a good
Terrible
movie.
name.
Bad
Did it
name,
not
yeah.
perform?
The,
should've called it Harley Quinn.
encapsulation of Harley Quinn. Or...
Emancipation.
It's
See, that's
what's
my
the
thing.
quote. I'm trying to think of the quote.
the Emancipation.
The Emancipation
long.
Proclamation.
Of one.
No.
Fantastic.
4 scored 7 years ago.
So wait,
I
you
feel
think you
like-
can? Because my thing is not knowing Paula that well. I feel like Paula would be the kind of we'd bring her into this FBI station, and be like, "Listen, we've been approved to come in with non-lethal means and take in Kevin. We need to be the ones to bring him in because the FBI is not going to play as nice, Mrs. Coello." And I feel like that's when she asked for a cigarette and smoke a little bit and then spit in my face and be like, "I'll never help you bring in Kevin." I'm like, "Fuck, god damn it!" And then
See, I
Cecil
think
would bite us or something.
I think I'm with Tim on this one, where I think Paula would be at this point so tired of Kevin constantly being in situations like this, where she's just like, I just don't care. If you need to beanbag him. You know what I mean? Just put a couple.
Dude, there's just a lot of X factors with the Paula factor and the Kevin Paula factor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's too much to the story where Kevin's a smart cookie and he knows about this. So he can get ahead of all of it by talking to Paula. I'm fairly convinced. I would give myself a 90% accuracy rating here that I could speak to Paula seriously enough to get her to understand that she needs to not turn on Kevin, but be on our side of the situation and help us achieve our goal. But if Kevin had already told her something to the extent of Tim's going to talk to you, don't listen to anything he says.
Oh, yeah, he already inceptioned.
That's where everything's going to fall apart. Because at that point, I don't think I could get through to her. But I do think that at that point, she wouldn't necessarily still be on Kevin's side fully. She would then be a agent of chaos.
I just got to be honest.
We don't know what she's going to do next.
I just feel like none of our significant others, and this is, I think, speaks more highly to their intelligence level than their loyalty level. I don't think anyone would be on 100% on any of our sides. You know what I mean? I feel like D would be like this. What did he do? Nah, I don't care. Just go get him.
Well, they all have moral compasses. They all have a moral center.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think my wife would not cover for me if I committed like a huge heinous crime.
Because I feel like it would be more of a he did what? Yeah, that sounds about right. Like I feel like it'd be more from a place of understanding, you know.
I guess it depends on the thing. So if you came to D and said Nick embezzled money, she'd be like, no, he didn't. There's no way. He doesn't have the balls for that.
That's true.
He comes from Riverside. They don't have the people from Riverside don't have the balls to steal money from corporations. We don't do that there. We do meth and Starbucks. Those are the two things Riverside people do.
See, that's my problem with G is if she heard that I embezzled money, she would immediately jump to trying to defend me. In her head, she'd be like, I'm sure he did it. I'm sure, I'm just mad at him that he got caught. And she would try to back me up, but she would get me caught so fast.
Yeah.
She would be able to handle the
definitely
conversation.
For sure. For
I
sure.
respect her.
Tim.
I respect the efforts.
Tim, be honest. You wouldn't turn on the FBI for me?
Turn on the FBI?
Yeah. Come on. You know
you'd
you're
have to
funneling
ask
me.
me. You would have to ask me to.
Tim,
I wouldn't just do it if you didn't ask me.
Nobody
Wait, real quick. What does turn on the FBI mean? You mean like right now it's us four. We've been deputized by the FBI to bring in Kevin Coello. Kevin is going to sneak a message to Tim, who's going to go double cross on the FBI.
Yeah,
he was a sleeper cell from the inside. Damn,
100%. I'm getting
Tim's texting.
Tim's texting True, who's like getting the message to me somehow. I don't know how, but he's getting it to me somehow.
It's
what
true.
the FBI is working on.
You guys have burner phones.
Doing.
You have burner phones. Cool Greg set up some kind of
cool enough. I think that True's probably got pigeons or something going on.
Dead drops
just throughout the city. Yeah, there you go.
Craig, I hate these glasses.
Yeah, nobody.
Dr. Robotnik ass motherfucker over here.
You look like John Lennon if he hadn't gotten shot.
That's when somebody on PS I Love You, when I described it for the audio listeners, I described it as John Lennon's glasses, but shrunk down to just be pupil size.
Yeah, that's hideous. They're off-putting at best, and I don't like them.
I think this is like in this FBI thing. This is what I would put on for my thinking glasses, though, to think through this problem.
Could you imagine? Let's do this. Okay,
look at Andy's got cool glasses.
So you're just trying to fuck with the cops, then? Oh
Greg,
man,
here's
look
the scene. I'm the FBI agent. You're my witness right now. Okay, so let me just see here, sir. I want to check.
We
a
got
couple
laser
facts
eyes
in your
over here.
story.
Look at that. Shoot a laser.
Fact number one in your story. At any point, did you actually think wearing those glasses was a good idea?
I'm not telling you anything, pig.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking beanbag him. Tim, beanbag him.
Point blank. Just beanbagging in my chest.
I'm sorry. Like, stop me if I've told this story like as early as last week. But
okay.
Did I tell you guys about the cops and the shotguns?
No.
Near my house?
No.
Oh.
So I was driving to Starbucks, and I got out. I was right outside my house in my car, waiting for Gia to come down to get in the car to go to Starbucks. Hella cop cars pull up across the street, and they're like all types of ways. Like cops are coming from every which direction, parking on the wrong side of the street and shit. And I'm just like, my neighborhood has nowhere near this amount of shit going on. Like, something has to be happening. And all of a sudden, I see these cops completely go on this one house. Then cops start coming out with shotguns.
Fuck.
They didn't go in with shotguns.
They did.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? These shotguns, neon orange.
Orange. Yeah, they're beanbags then.
And I was like,
non-lethal.
what the fuck is going on? So I started Googling it. And apparently a bunch of different precincts around America have decided to not use shotgun shells ever. So they've painted their shotguns orange to signify that only beanbags or some specific like type of shells can be used.
Non-lethal stuff. Yeah.
And so whatever. Cool. That's great. None of this explains to me why someone's walking into a house with a fucking shotgun. Even if it's a beanbag shotgun. Like, isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, they're trying to apprehend Kevin Coello. Like, if we know what location Kevin is holed up at, and we have to go apprehend him, and we're bringing in non-lethal rounds, like, there you go. You've answered your own question.
So I saw this
hypotheticals become reality.
And then a week later, it happened again.
Same house?
Same house.
Damn.
Yeah. And so
what is this, like domestic abuse?
That's scary. The only theory I have is domestic abuse, because my first theory was like, oh, they probably have like pit bulls or some shit. I'm like, you'd get animal control for that. You know, shotguns just seem very, very, very excessive in any given situation.
I'll be honest,
unless Kevin's involved.
Yeah, if someone's coming in to disperse something that I'm a part of, I would prefer them to use non-lethal shotguns than a real shotgun,
of course,
or like any other thing. Like at least they're thinking about that.
No, that's true. But I mean, wouldn't you rather them just use like something a little less
like
than
a taser?
Shotgun?
I mean, I'd like them to start with their words first.
Yeah,
and if that didn't happen, maybe just like escalate that to a taser to the nuts or something like crazy.
A little bit harder to do these days. Did you see that where that one of the protesters, I believe it was from Austin, there was an article where some of the protesters all got together, the people that lost their eyes
with the beanbags,
through means of different shots or whatever, and one of them got hit by a beanbag, and they showed
bullets, whatever they were.
They showed like, here's what was removed from my eye, because it like just destroyed my eyeball. And it was like a bloody beanbag with the pellets, like and the beanbag had kind of opened up a bit. This is what they took out of my eye. Like, fuck, up,
that's gross.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in all seriousness, those things can still be like lethal depending on where they strike. It's just they're a lot less lethal on average than bullets.
That shit is scary though, Tim. There was my parents' house that they live in right now. There was like 3 houses down an FBI raid several years ago, like maybe 5 years ago or so. And they found it was all over the paper of like millions of dollars in the attic, and I don't even think nobody really knows what was happening there. Like, it had to have been some sort of drug house or a moving house. Yeah, it was really, really creepy.
It was like a very intense thing to see, where I was like, holy shit, they have a fucking shotgun. Yeah. And we're me, Joey, and G are having a conversation. And the second time it happened, we were all witnessing this from upstairs. And I was just like, dude, they got a fucking shotty. And Gia goes, "Shoddy, did you just call a shotgun a shoddy?" And then Joey, without missing a beat,
Bugatti.
Man, shoddy Bugatti. It's like, what the fuck is happening here? It's video game shit. Don't worry.
Wait, Tim, how many shotguns were there?
Both times there were 2 separate people with shotguns.
Oh, okay. All right. So when you said it, I thought there was like 8 people running in with shotguns.
There was 8 people running in. Only 2 of them had shotguns.
Yeah, because across the street, the same thing happened basically, but it was only 1 shotgun. Maybe San Francisco likes to go to the shotgun quick.
It's crazy, man.
Hey, but you don't need as much accuracy.
It was like week 2 or 3 of shelter in place, and the building next door to mine, I saw a cop car pull up, and like 2 cops got out, and one of them did have the shotgun. And I think they were trying to like break up a gathering of people, because you could hear, you know how sometimes you can hear the party, and you're like, someone's breaking the fucking rules. Well, man, they walked in.
Time to get the shotgun.
I'm
legit curious. If you guys know, leave a comment below, like letting me understand what in a residential zone people going into someone's house with these orange shotguns could possibly be for.
I mean, definitely for anything, just definitely for like safety. If you have to take someone down,
yeah, I mean, shotguns
like,
close
someone's being
weapon.
assaulted, or if some, I mean, I imagine they're bringing it in to have yet a secondary non-lethal weapon in addition to their tasers. They don't have to actually draw the guns that have bullets in them. Because I don't know if rubber. I don't know. I've heard the term rubber bullets, but I don't know necessarily how those manifest. Like I don't know if those come out of a rifle or if it's a shotgun or if it's a handgun. But I do know that the beanbags. And granted, if you're asking yourself, Nick, is your whole reference point for this the time that Steve-O got shot with a beanbag on fucking Jackass? That's the answer is yes. I do remember that. That's it. That's all I have. That's my full context of this. So please pardon our ignorance on this subject.
Remember when they were playing High-Ally?
High-Ally's terrifying.
The sport High-Ally, insane.
That's scary.
People die.
But I'll never forget that one episode where they just stood against the wall and like covered up their balls. And professional High-Ally players were just whipping these fucking like I think it was oranges at them or some shit.
That's a terrible idea.
Terrifying, dude.
That's a terrible idea.
What are we looking at, Kev?
I looked up rubber gun bullets, and this is what came up. I think that the blue one there, this one here, I'm pretty sure this is.
Yeah, that looks like it.
That's like a grenade, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's how they do it.
Yeah, see, like there it is.
Yeah, that looks right. That makes sense.
The resolution of this photo, something about this photo looks really nice. Certainly not the actions. You know what I'm talking about? Look at it.
It's the depth of field.
No, but there's also like the
no one clipped that out.
The black of her.
It's very crushed and saturated.
It looks nice. It's really saturated. But I think that.
But she's terrifying.
Yeah, no, it's the whole scary situation. I think that they also might use something like that looks like a toy.
Those look like paintballs.
But like that looks like not a toy all of a sudden, you know?
The rest of you Californians, native Californians, I guess not Greg, but you've been here for a long time. You've been here way longer than me. There have been reports of all these really small earthquakes happening in LA, and they say that this could be a precursor to the big one, right? Like the San Andreas fault. Like these are all sort of like little tiny ones kind of leading up to the big thing. And what is your plan if it all just goes to shit? Like what? I don't know. My imagination goes wild, and I wonder how far would that affect? I heard a story that like a 15 on the Richter scale earthquake would destroy planet Earth. Like there's just so many like things out there that
15?
Like yeah, if you hit the 15, it'll destroy the Earth.
Well, how big, Kevin? How big was the one that hit San Francisco that like leveled the city? That like really
8, right?
Well, it didn't level the city.
The fires did. Sorry,
1906 or the
whatever.
1906. He's talking about 1906.
I think it's a 19 on the Richter scale.
Let me look it up.
I wonder if that was like
I think it was like a 7 or an 8.
No, I think it was like an 8 something.
Because I always think like bad hurricane, category 5, bad earthquake, 8.
But see, that's the thing for me, Andy, is that I feel it's one of those things. Yeah, at any moment, like a big one can come that fuck everything up. But like, I'm always shocked
7.9
that growing up in San Francisco, having been through my fair share of earthquakes, including one of the big ones when I was a very little baby. Like, I hear all these things about hurricanes, and I'm just like, oh my! Like I was just talking to you recently, and it's like your friends are affected currently by hurricanes happening in Texas in a real way, and I'm like, that's fucking horrifying. And you're just like, oh yeah, it's just a hurricane.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of when I've expressed my sort of concerns about earthquakes, and you're like, by the way, how you're like, what's it like going through a hurricane? And I was like, oh, that is kind of a weird thing to Tim. I could see where he just wouldn't have any reference point for this.
Yeah,
it sounds horrifying and wet.
Yeah, for the people who live in California, like everyone's always worried about earthquakes in California, but you have to remember, like, we don't have a big earthquake that really disrupts people's lives every year. We do have wildfires now, and those wildfires are pretty fucking terrible as well. But for me, I always see people who live in like Florida, and they get hit by a hurricane every year. And every year I'm like, it would take me one time going through this before I'm like, fuck that. I am not living in this area ever again. It's just not going to happen.
But what I've always thought is like, is it the same people getting hit, or is it the kind of thing where like I know Florida's not the size of California, but like where it's some city in Florida got hit, and then years later another different city gets hit, right?
Isn't that what it is? It's not always the same spot or whatever, but like the same thing with us back home. We're in the Gulf, and that's where there's a lot of warm water there, and the hurricanes get really aggressive and shit. And once they make landfall, they kind of chill out or whatever. But I've been through a fuckload of like tropical depressions and just tropical storms or whatever. And we only had I think maybe 2 hurricanes actually disrupt school where we were off of school for a while because of, pretty bad flooding and just overall bad shit. Because the cities aren't really prepared to have to deal with that sort of stuff, so you eventually miss a lot of school or whatever. But yeah, this most recent one, Hannah, I guess Hurricane Hannah, it was kind of like this I don't know. I just sort of got pelted by all this shit because like my brother and my parents are calling me like, "Oh, your grandfather and your grandmother have COVID," and I was like, "Oh my god, what's the deal? Are they okay?" Blah blah blah. And we're getting hit by a hurricane, so everybody dealing with health issues may not have power. And like my brother was without power for I think 2 days. There was several people he knew that were without power for 5 days, and it could be kind of scary. And I guess I underestimated this most recent hurricane because we haven't had a bad one in a long time. So usually it's just tropical depression. You might have like some water come into your house or whatever. But now, man, I knew just people that I follow back from school on Instagram and shit having their roofs cave in because of water and
It's crazy.
like losing their apartments and shit. I was like, oh my god! And the aerial views of the like I guess areas of McAllen, Texas or whatever, it looked like not as bad as Katrina, nowhere near as bad as that, but still like, oh, that's a disaster site. Like that's not how this city should look.
When you were growing up in school, did you guys have like hurricane, like fire drills? Did you have hurricane drills? Because we had earthquake drills.
We had tornado drills.
We had tornado drills, I think. Yeah, we had like I wouldn't say we had hurricane drills though, no, because that shit was always a long process. It was never out of nowhere, right? You would know, all right, it's probably gonna hit us. We gotta prepare. This wave, it's gonna hit us. Maybe the eye will hit us as well. And that was always weird because you'd be in the center of it for hours and it would just be calm. And then the second wave would hit, and that was always like really fucked up. But no, I don't think we ever dealt with like. Again, I only went through a couple of hurricanes that we actually had to miss school for. But hurricanes again, it was not like an earthquake or a tornado where it's this sudden thing and it's this crazy drill. It was always like, this thing's probably going to hit us. We should not come in.
I think when they say hurricane drills, they're talking more about like where they're. It's like what you do in case of one happening. When happens.
Yeah, like we didn't do.
You didn't do like.
We didn't have to like. We didn't drill or we didn't do drills in terms of like evacuation or anything like that.
Did you guys do the fire drills though? Like in the same way where you guys? Okay.
Oh yeah. But when I think of tornadoes and stuff, I feel like we didn't really have issues with tornadoes. It was always when I would be visiting my family in Austin or Abilene. And Abilene is like North Texas near Oklahoma. And that's where there was always tornadoes. And I was fucking terrified whenever I'd visit family there because you would always just have to like get in the bathtub or get in the archway of a door. Like it was always just really
horrifying.
Scary. It was so scary, Kevin. And my uncle would like go on the roof and just go look at hurricanes and like drink a beer and shit. It was fucking crazy. Yeah.
Greg and Nick, do you remember when we had our like the one real fire drill at IGN and we all had to go outside and it was so disruptive and we immediately even more turned into 14-year-old kids.
Oh, yeah.
And all were just like, we're not going back in. Fuck that. And we all just like left and like went to just Starbucks. Well, maybe it was just us, but we went to Starbucks. But I vividly remember it just being such a thing where it's like, we're a group of adults and like even the real adults of IGN, of which there were few, even that broke them where they're like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory or the grilled cheese place.
The Great American Grilled Cheese Factory.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty good.
Didn't we also cause a fire alarm?
Oh.
Did we?
With the
Avengers boy band
machine.
Yeah.
No one was there for that though.
Yeah, you're right.
That was
with the Avengers, what?
We did a shoot called the Avengers Boy Band. I don't remember the fire alarm going off for that. I remember that we the first time and the only time I've ever
Nick gives Andy the information and then just bails on anything else. No, we did a shoot called the Avengers Boy Band.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did. We used to. Tim used to come up with these crazy ideas to do like really good viral videos, and then we'd make them, and they were really cool. And then we'd be like, "Hey, can you guys just let us do this on a semi-regular, if not regular basis?" And they were like, "Nope." And we're like, "Cool." They're like, nobody wants these kinds of videos. It's not like there's an entire YouTube platform based on this shit.
Anyway, did you show it?
Tim, do you remember? I think this was the zombie.
They don't
shoot.
need to see it. They can go check it out.
Andy works here and didn't know. Just go. Just jump.
Andy
I just want to see
fucking
Alfredo.
knows.
I just want to see
Andy
Alfredo.
knows.
I don't know.
I do remember the first and only time I've ever seen a grip have to pull a fire extinguisher out was on that zombie shoot we did. Remember how we had
That's
a
what
light?
it was. That's the thing that we got in trouble or
Yeah.
caused the fire stuff for.
Yeah, we did. Because I don't remember going off during this. I do remember, during that one moment, I was like, "Uh-oh, something's smoking up there," and I saw our second camera assistant go and grab it. He literally grabbed the fire extinguisher. I was like, and my first thought was, "Hey, don't do that. That's like a real thing. Like someone's gonna. We're not supposed to touch those things." And he goes like, "No, you're supposed to touch them if something's on fire." And I was like, "Yeah. Oh, I see what you're at. I see where we're here. Something's on fire." And he's like, "Yeah, I gotta fucking go put it out." And then I was like, "Now what do we do?" And he goes, "Just put it back." And I was like, "Do we have to tell anyone?" He goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Put the thing back. Let's just put the thing back."
It's weird. I don't remember any of that story.
Dude, that shit fucking that fire extinguisher stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
Like the liquid the fuel, the stuff that comes out of that is like it sucks the air out of the room, and you definitely can't breathe it. So whenever you see someone get hit by a fire extinguisher in a movie, I'm like, they're dead. They're gonna inhale that, and it's gonna fuck their lungs up.
Real quick to go back to the earthquake stuff.
Sure.
Aren't we have learned how to build for earthquakes, right? So we're
Correct.
probably in a much better place than we were in 1906 or even 89, right?
I'd like to believe so. Yeah.
Except for the fact that I think most of the buildings, if you look around most of the buildings, the architecture is still from the 20s in San Francisco.
Yeah, but a lot of
the
it's been
big one.
retrofitted.
Not
all of it, but a lot of
seismically
it.
retrofitted. But what the fuck does that even do? And I don't even know. I think
guess-
the building I live in was supposed to be seismic retrofit. We got a note saying, "Hey, we're going to do seismic retrofitting," and they never did. They just never got around to it. So
I don't even think of
Sounds illegal.
buildings toppling
super
over. I
illegal.
think of just the ground, fucking.
But I mean,
like,
is that realistic?
quaking.
Hoisting.
it depends. I guess, Kev, I think it depends on where you're at. So they always talk about how the things you have to worry about in San Francisco of not being on bedrock, because if you're in those lands that are landfilled, you can actually the places will shift around a lot easier than if they're on bedrock. And I think you guys already talked about this, but the big problem with the last earthquake was that the gas lines broke and started fires. And that's what was actually really devastating for the city, was that everything's built right next to each other. So one fire just goes, "What? You're gonna take out the whole fucking block really fast."
I wonder if there's any.
I think we're a lot
emergency-
better at responding to that now because
Yeah.
we have fire stations on every fucking corner. So nothing that would be an issue. But if the whole city got leveled, Tim or Andy, to answer your question, if my car is free, I get in it and I go to Tahoe, because my brother-in-law, who was he's like a man's man, knows how to hunt and shit, and he would take care of me. And I would
this
clean stuff.
apocalypse situation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been my thing about it. Where it's for me, we have one of the emergency bug out bags kind of thing, Andy, and I would just get that. And this is always my argument of why would you want a gun or whatever? This would always be the one thing I would go back to of the only time I'd ever really want one. I'm not worried about somebody breaking into the house and needing it, but for me it would be Nick's gonna drive to Tahoe. No, he's not. The fucking roads are gonna be clogged and fucked, and he's not gonna be able to, even if his car's okay, he's not gonna be able to get out there. For me, it's the walk from here to South Bay, right? Of trying to get back to a normal land or whatever, and what you're gonna have to go through to get all the way out there. But then I would obviously think of the road.
I would go to Daly City, get some Wendy's.
I don't know if they're gonna still be cooking right there. You know what I mean?
Idea.
Wendy's probably be fine.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah,
Kev. I think so, Kev. I think they'd be the last bastion of hope. They'd create their own colony.
All I
Well,
know
that
is
is
cockroaches
uniquely alone. There's very few places in the Bay Area, or specifically in the San Francisco Bay Area, that kind of just have a place with parking lot around it. That's just that's the only place, right? Think of any fast food place it's either in a mall or next to a whole bunch of other things. Whereas that Wendy's is just kind of its own island.
yeah, it just hangs out on its own. Similar to the one Burger King. Oh, and the Mickey D's. You know what? A lot of fast food places have that set up.
Well, yeah, you need to be able to drive in, drive out, right?
Yeah, no,
Get
that's
your food to
right.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. So hey guys, if there's an earthquake, we know what to
fast
do.
food.
Kevin, would we have a chance of catching you think, for this serious crime?
Oh, I don't think so. I would.
Because I feel like we have all these jokes and
Tim...
stuff, and Paula would be the thing. Yeah, if we could get Paula to flip on you, that'd be clutch.
No, but
even then, I don't think she's going to do it.
If I'm
And I
aware,
think you'd be
I've already prepped her for the situation. I've explained no matter what you guys say, it's safer for me not to get arrested.
I didn't want to get into this, guys,
Yeah.
but There's a secret weapon. Kevin's mom.
No.
I thought you were going to say
never met a single person that is more of a mama's boy than Kevin Coello.
Yeah, he's super is.
She would know everything about where he is, where he's going, something.
It really shows how weakened our friendships have become.
And now here's the thing. Would she tell me shit? Not a fucking chance.
Yeah, I was going to say, she definitely
But she really likes Greg.
But I know that she likes other people.
I used to live with her. Yeah.
I can ask Andy to ask her. But we're good.
I hate you, Andy. Like, that's not the truth at all.
She likes Andy. She likes Andy a lot.
Oh my god,
Kevin, I'm not doing it. It's Nick. That's Nick right there.
You open the fucking door for him.
You know where you guys are at.
Nick is like a wild cat. You open the door, he's gonna go in because he's curious. He doesn't know better.
I don't know what's inside. I just want to know. I gotta know. Could it be danger? Who cares? It's worth the risk.
Is that lady the cat wandering in?
I do feel like one of our leads would be going to a local Lowe's or Home Depot and just asking if we've seen a wild man running around, because I feel like
seen this man.
Like, I feel like we don't even have to show it to him. Just like, has there been a really a man just really erratic running around here buying supplies? Because you got to assume Kevin's going to be looking for supplies to build some sort of either protection device or getaway device.
Catapult.
Or something like that.
The catapult.
Yeah,
I think like the Watchman, he's trying to get out of the situation by catapulting himself out of the stratosphere. Andy, so Andy, let's play this out. Okay, you go. I'm the person, the manager of the Home Depot that you're talking to.
Oh, good morning.
How does this work out? You come up to me. Well, I'm sorry. What did you need, sir? I'm checking some inventory lists right here.
There's a crazy man. He's been running around. He's had really, really long hair. He's wearing a gray sort of muscle shirt.
Muscle shirt.
He's wearing red shoes.
It was white at one time.
They are red.
Is the muscle shirt underneath another muscle shirt? Does he have a tank top underneath the tank top?
What the hell's a muscle shirt? Are you just saying tank top?
You're talking about your tank top, your undershirt, yeah.
Sir, I don't know you, but we do have someone by that description. We call him El Coello.
Is he living in the backyard? And what's happened? Is he?
And he's in hardware right now, sir.
He's checking for no reason. He's looking at sinks. He's looking at the sinks in the kitchen area.
He got distracted.
Kevin's like, in Kevin's brain, he's like, I am remodeling stuff, but I'm on the lam. But there's a good deal right now on kitchen sinks.
Yeah, if I get out of this jam, I'm gonna want this 75% off sink. So I might as well look into that right now. See if I can get this guy to hold on to it for me.
Absolutely.
See, I don't think we'd ever catch him. Even I think Kevin would be gone. AJ's got this clause in here that the idea is that it's assumed that he's still in the Greater Bay Area. No way. Kevin will be out of here in a heartbeat if he needed to.
See, that's the thing, though. I think to the opposite. If he stays in the Bay Area longer than a week, we can catch him because he'll just lose interest in like.
I'm going to flip this question. I know that we're probably wrapping up the show, but I'm going to flip this to something that I think could be fairly quickly answered. All right, if we're going to take this as a real hypothetical, I know we've had a lot of fun over the last hour or so. Kind of,
we sure have
done like things. If this was a real situation, my first question is, how much money did he take? And
all of it.
What is the point that we would forgive him?
I don't want to answer that on the record because then he's going to do it he's going to undercut by 5%, do it and be like, you guys said you'd forgive me.
Because I feel like that's the thing for me where I'm like,
it would
realistically, Kev would take it on the chin and just be like, guys are fucked up.
Sure.
And I'm trying to wonder.
For me, it would be like, I think you all's limit would be, it would have to be under $5,000.
See, I think that's a number I'm drawn to, but I think in general 4 figures, you know what I mean? Like right now at the end of this, what time is it? We're recording right now. It's 4:18. I would say by 6:45, me, Nick, and Tim have an email from Joey where she's like, listen, the pet stuff was me. I'm sorry. And that's fine. $300. We understand. You got confused on which credit card was whatever. You don't have to like make up all these stories anymore, Joe. It's okay.
It's okay.
And it's a similar thing for Kevin where it's like, oh man, like, yeah, I wasn't paying attention because Kevin's just not the kind of guy who's like, you know what? I spent $900 of the company's money knowing I was doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? No, it might have been he's like doing some kind of rebate points or some kind of scheme he was trying to get going. He's trying to beat Tim, but he couldn't do it. And there we are. That's okay. You know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah. But when we get to 4, $1,000. We get to 4 numbers. That's when I was like,
Yeah, there's a difference between someone who goes, I'm taking a risk and maybe made a mistake and it cost the company money. In that case, obviously we can have a conversation about that. But if someone's like this, like, you caught me stealing $10,000, I'd be like, dude, totally okay. And the second you came in that room, there'd be fucking 50 SWAT people waiting for you.
SWAT people.
God. SWAT.
They have
like
the orange
fucking,
shotguns.
But not like San Francisco SWAT, like LA SWAT. Like fucking Samuel L. Jackson and Colin Farrell would be there, but like, how he paid us. I don't know how we got here. And I'd be like, get him, guys. And then it would just be a big scrum. Done.
And Colin Farrell's like in a phone booth.
Man, that movie. That's a movie they made.
You didn't like phone booth?
Phone booth? No, there's a whole fucking thing happens in a phone booth.
That was fucking
metaphor
cool,
for his
dude.
life.
It was cool.
It was cool. I
always get that one confused with the one that Sam Worthington did.
Don't try to wiggle your way out of here. Don't try to. Actually, I like that movie.
Don't try to wiggle your way out of here.
Phone booth, a classic.
Classic. I think I saw it once in theater. What wasn't Kiefer Sutherland the voice of the guy in the phone booth?
Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you what, Greg. I know we're trying to wrap this shit up, and we can talk about this on the post.
You guys, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You just keep saying that. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Well, because you always give us. You get real quiet.
Joey just emailed me, or all of us. Can I have $300? This is the subject line of the email.
Hilarious. I was looking through, IMDb has like, they're trying to make content and shit. I guess they've been doing that for 10 years, but they have like an editorial staff. One of the things they put together was celebrities at 90s movie openings. And I was like, oh, that's funny. I'll just click on this picture. I looked through all the pictures and read all the captions. It was so nostalgic to go through. It was like Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts together when they were dating in 1990. It was so fucking awesome. The Sutherland.
I don't think we'd catch him. I think Kevin would get away.
God damn it.
I don't think we could do it.
I mean, I don't know. I tend to agree with you, Greg, usually on most things.
Yeah.
Like for example, tater tots overrated, right?
My man.
But yeah, man, like I feel like Kevin, I feel like any of us could get away though.
From each other or the cops in general?
Well, the cops aren't chasing Kevin. It's just us, right?
We've been.
Well, you said I feel like any of us could get away in general. I was wondering if we're getting away from the other members of Kind of Funny in this deputized situation.
I think any of us could get away from the other members of Kind of Funny. I don't think there's a way in hell we're getting away from the authorities.
Kevin, do you think you could catch us? Me? Could you catch me?
Are you using social media?
I mean,
of course, he's posting every day with Jen.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using social media, we got you so good. Unless,
but that would be my thing is I would try to use it, to my advantage of subterfuge, where I'd be, putting up things on a scheduled tweet basis that you think he's doing his thing. But
then I would see Greg Miller use Twitter Studio for this. I go,
Does it show that? Does it say that if I do it?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I feel like if we had a team. If it was all of us hunting one of you guys, I think we'd be able to figure out enough to figure it out,
See, back in the day, we did this in high school. God, it does say Twitter Media Studio. Fuck. We did this in high school where we were sitting around my basement board and somebody told a story about how some other friends they had that went to another high school came up with this very complicated rule set of they played a game of Manhunt where they started at one house, a group of them left, and then it was up to the other group to try to track them and find them.
That's cool. That's kind of
do them, whatever. And we were like, we'll do that, and we did it that night right there, and we did none of the rules, and it just became us literally being the lamest people ever of sitting outside the destination we knew they had to get to, just waiting, looking for them.
Smart.
It was so they ran for 3 hours, and then it was just we came to a head and this kind of sucked.
Yeah,
we can come that's a better way. Now that we've presented that here, I'm glad that we can do a whole very complicated Kind of Funny podcast or party mode revival where I go on the hunt and you guys try to get me.
That'd be so fun, especially if
I gotta get the
we're all
Tower.
Waiting for you. We're all waiting for you at Coit Tower, and we're like, we're gonna get him, and then Tim shows up and he goes, "Here's the twist, guys. I'm canceling this party mode."
This party mode's been canceled all along.
Picture of Greg at home farting with Lucy in the next room, just going God damn it.
But we could do this because it would be you can't take public transit, you can't drive, so you've got to be on foot, or maybe you can use a Lime scooter or whatever. But you got to get from wherever you got to get from Ocean Beach all the way to Coit Tower, right? How you gonna do it?
There's just no way. There's no way you're catching the person. The city's too big, and you can just take random side streets. You never find them unless you waited for them.
Nick, I totally disagree. We got him.
So if you think one of us says, "Hey, I got to make it from my house to a certain destination,"
Ocean Beach to Coit Tower.
Is there
So here's the thing: if Greg Miller had to walk, like that'd be a rule that I put here. Greg Miller has to walk.
I can run too, right?
Yes,
You would look like the Bigfoot roaming
but
the
no
country.
vehicle, no scooters, none of this shit.
have you seen a man in leggings? Seen a man in leggings?
And if he had to go from Ocean Beach to Coit Tower, if you gave Kevin and I a day of prep time, enough time to order stuff on Amazon and get it delivered to us.
Okay.
What are we
I
waiting
think-
to
What are you
order?
ordering?
Yeah.
I'm not giving it away to Greg.
Tim, I have
Vegan-
thermal
vegan
gloves,
bug.
though, so we're good.
Party mode's happening.
I got
Greg,
a couple
let's
real
just say
good
this, you
things.
may or may not have already swallowed a homing device.
I'm Greg, close
Yeah.
your ears for a second.
I'll go off mic.
It's drones. We just get a couple drones.
Oh,
Drones can
Nick,
cover
that's a great idea.
so much
Tim,
area.
watch your hands. Watch your hands.
So
You can
quickly.
read your hands.
Cover your mouth. Cover your mouth.
That's true. That I didn't think about that. That's
Drones.
true. But you're also assuming that he doesn't just randomly get in someone else's car.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't do that.
He can't get in an Uber, but he could
No,
commandeer
I said he
someone's
has to walk.
vehicle. He has to walk.
Guys,
First off, Greg can't walk from where.
We have
There's
to
no way-
throw Greg off the scent and pretend that we are like, I'm driving.
Well,
and then
that's why I
Can't come back
flashed
yet?
in, Andy. That's why I flashed in. Oh,
Yeah, you can come in, Greg. You can come in. Stop,
Yeah.
Andy. Stop.
I feel like if you
Wait,
him
can
being
you
able to walk
use
is not
cars? Are
fair.
you able to use cars? I have to walk, but you can do whatever.
We can do whatever.
Oh well, yeah.
no,
then
I
for
say
sure
we
you
can
catch up on
only
that.
use bicycles. Like that's the
That makes
most,
it better.
because you know what I mean. Like that's a
That's not
lot.
a bad. That's not a bad.
That's a
thing.
lot more speed, but still a lot of effort that we got to put in.
Greg, really, all you have to do then is just stay approximately 50 feet away from them the entire time, because Tim on a bicycle has approximately 5 minutes before he just gives up and goes home. He's not doing that shit.
That's true. Yeah, but he's.
I've been on
Nick,
bikes
don't
with
worry.
Tim. I
I
probably
brought
rode
a
a bike
chain.
the last time Tim rode a bike with him, and both of us. What do we say, Tim? Never again. We're never riding those fucking bikes
Never.
ever. in San Francisco.
Tim, but
God, that was the worst thing we've ever done for money.
Terrible.
Tim, you got one of them bikes with a little motor that helps you.
That's all I
The
know.
battery's not gonna last forever, but
I would say an incredibly easy way to find Tim if Tim happened to go running would just be like to use Google Earth and then do like a color match source of pink and just see like the items that are highlighted pink. Like everything else is turned black and white, and we would just see like a little pink thing. That's Tim right there.
There he
fucking
is.
Tim. Yeah, it's
So
his
what
face.
you're telling me to walk from Ocean Beach to Coit Tower is a 2.5 hour walk.
Yeah.
That seems longer. It seems like it'd be longer than that.
So I say we give Kev, how long, given the situation I gave you, how much of a head start do we give him?
well, here's the thing. There's no time limit, but I don't like that we know
No,
the
there needs to be a
destination.
time limit. There needs to be a time limit. It needs to be
5
like
hours.
you have to You have to get from Ocean Beach to Coit Tower in 5 hours. It would have to be that. I don't know.
like it because then
I
now
think-
we know where you're gonna be. So it's too easy to like be like, all right, 4.5 hours. Let's go
Wait,
to
what-
Coit Tower.
Well, no. We'd have to come up with rules about that too. Of like you're not able to be stationary or something.
Huh?
We can't get, we wouldn't be able to, we need to give him like an hour head start or something like that. 30 minutes,
Right.
40 minutes head start, right? So that
Or
way
you-
we don't know where he is.
And you have to have a radius around Coit Tower where like you're not allowed to break that
Exactly.
threshold. Yeah.
Exactly.
It has to be
From
like a half a mile radius or something like that. So you have to be able to catch him somewhere. You can't just stand at Coit Tower with like 3 people and be like, I see him. He's right fucking there. Yeah. It has to be like maybe like a 500-foot radius or
Now, do
1,000
we
foot
have
radius.
to catch him ourselves?
You have to
we
literally
hire-
wrestle him to the ground.
I mean,
It has to be
that
one
part's
of
fine.
it's like a game of tag, or like where you
No,
have
but
to
here's
tag.
before you keep answering the question I haven't finished
Well, I
asking.
remember when I was in the middle of a fucking statement and you derailed it to say
don't.
something
I
else, so
don't.
whatever.
I don't.
Let me rewind the show by a fucking minute and a half.
What
now,
if-
you piece of
what if-
garbage.
Tim, are we allowed to hire people forming like a giant chain or circle around
Okay.
Coit Tower? Wherever,
Okay. If you
wherever-
are,
We have
if you are, then
24 hours.
Greg's allowed to hire people too. So if you hire
Excellent.
people, Greg
Excellent.
gets to hire people that look like him, and he gets to buy him all the leggings he wants out of Andy's paycheck.
Yep. I don't
mean,
think
yeah.
you should be. I don't think you should be able to buy people. Greg Miller, I don't think you should be able to buy people. I don't think you. I think it has to be like it would have to be you 5. Like I don't think or 4. You 4.
Here's the thing though, Greg. I agree with you to an extent. We
Okay.
should be able to buy whatever help we need, but we need to be the ones to get you, to tag you,
Now,
to
Tim,
whatever it is.
No. I don't know. I agree with yes. You guys have to make the tag, but I don't think you should be able to get like hire Gia and Joey and whatever to be out there being like spies or whatever. Like you're somehow quadrupling your fucking radius of being able to find me. Because like it is a side street game, right? Of like
Tim, that's
ducking
fair.
and diving.
But see, here's my argument against that though. That's why I want to, let's just say 24 hours. I want 24 hours of prep time. And if I can get people to commit to this ridiculous plan in 24 hours, I think we should be able to use them.
No, that's dumb. Because then, it's going to go from I need to dodge 4 of you to I need to dodge literally 30 of you and every one of your fucking high school friends.
We just tweet out.
Colonel's out there chasing me. Yeah, and you got all the best friends motivated.
There's not a fucking chance I can get Curran out here. To spend a day try to find Greg Miller.
James Burke will be out there with a baseball bat, walking the streets, tipping over trash cans. Looking
Miller,
for me.
Here's why I'm saying
you'll have it on the fucking news. I know you. You'll have a hashtag going. Ellen will be on it somehow.
We'll get it.
This is why I want to eliminate the time, the time frame, because it's like if you have a week to do it, you could do it right away, or you could
wait. What are you talking about? A week to get from Ocean Beach to Coit Tower, or a week to plan?
There's no time frame. If it's just like, hey, at any point, we just know when it starts. When it starts, you know, it starts in half an hour, but you can you don't have to start walking for another 2 days if you want to get us. But we're gonna start.
But then what if you just come to my house then and see me walk Portillo, and then that'd be the end of that.
But this is where you just go into the park and disappear for a couple of days.
Sure, yeah, that sounds real reasonable. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
But you don't think you can make that work?
So Greg,
I don't want to.
So Greg has to literally on foot go from like Andy's Coffee all the way over to, or Andytown Coffee all the way over to Coit Tower. I just feel like you don't want to do that, Greg. That's a long walk.
It's a long walk, but I want to do it. This is a fun exercise. Like I think if we come up with some good rules here, this could be good content. Everybody's wearing GoPros.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the first thing we have to do is look at the map and be like, all right, realistically, what's the path that he's going to take? And then me and Tim will probably talk about it for a good 2 hours on like different scenarios on which path you're going to take.
Sure.
And where most of those paths interact, like, is there a cross point where we're like, he's definitely going to pass by Chinatown because it makes the most sense or something? You know?
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. So maybe you find the one. See, what I would do, Kev, is I would do what Andy and I refer to as the zone defense, where I would be like, he's got to go through this bottleneck of 5 or 6 blocks. If you can find that,
right,
and you can just patrol. You can just patrol.
That's what I'm saying too. If that would
those
be
blocks
the
go back
way.
And forth
without giving anything away. I think Tim has a great idea on how we could monitor all of that.
Yeah, but the fact matters though, you have to be careful because you have to be able to get there as well. So,
Greg, here's a plan for you, Greg.
Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, because I don't want to reveal my hand on how I would.
I think this is too. Yeah, I think everybody's kind of working against you. I want to try to make this easier for you. I think you call Harley from Epic Mealtime. You call in. I'm just trying to think of other people that are like 6'3" tall.
Totally.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Harley's way bigger and more muscular.
You all start wearing, but if you're wearing like a big shawl,
remember, if he can call in people, we can call in people.
Okay.
That's a war of
I'm not really. I wouldn't be worried too much about that though, because Kevin and Tim are going to be way more invested in this than the rest of their friends. I give James Burke 15 minutes before he's like, dude, there's a baseball game on right now. Dude. They're all wearing masks. I got to go watch, dude.
You would be shocked what he's gotten his friends to do.
I just wanted to try to do James Burke for a second.
Mean to James.
So miserably.
Being mean to James.
So miserably.
Oh, there's nothing better.
All right. Well, everybody who's watching this later on youtube.com/kindoffunny, or if you're driving, I need you to go to youtube.com/kindoffunny. Leave some rules in the old comments there. We're starting to percolate on this idea. There's something to it. You know what I mean, Andy? There's something to this.
Like, write down a comment like saying like base rules, and then everybody starts commenting, and then we pick the best ones, and you edit your comment and kind of like, we find the right solution here. Because I just want to, Tim, that Nathan For You episode where he runs out of the hotel with all the lookalikes?
Yeah.
No. I really want.
Wait.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that one.
He hires a bunch of lookalikes to pretend to be him because he hires a guy.
That was fake. Everyone
he hires.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4 best friends get together to bullshit about their lives around this table. There you go. Sorry. If you like that, go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can get each and every episode ad free. You can get it with the post show we're about to do. You can watch it live while we record it. You can even be part of the show like AJ was today. And in the post show, like Ignacio Rojas is going to be. Remember, if you have no bucks tossed our way, though, no big deal. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunny. Podcast services around the globe each and every week to get an episode that has ads and no post show, and you can't watch it live. But it's still a pretty good episode because this was a dynamite episode, if I do say so myself. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a post show to do. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.